All right, guys, let's try this again from the couch. I don't know what happened out there. We just didn't get any reception. I don't know what's going on out there. Maybe the garage was blocking it. So I guess in order to do anything with the cars, we're going to have to pull them out of the garage. So back on the couch in the air conditioning. No Camaro. Well, that Camaro, but no Camaro. But we'll be live this weekend, hopefully, from the car show. There won't be any obstructions out there. I don't know, maybe if it's just because apartment living and we have all the different people's internets that it was trying to catch on to. I don't know. Who knows? So, anyways, all right. So, we didn't grab any products. We didn't grab anything. We just left everything in there and got up here as fast as we could. And then, of course, we had the family emergency happening on our way up as well. So, Andy is in the bedroom taking care of that right now. So let's go over the 15 steps, and then I'll be able to look at comments at least this way, and we can go back and forth on that, and I can answer comments and help you guys through any questions you have with the 15 steps. So gather your trash. I feel like I've said that about 15 times. Gather your trash, dust everything out, start giving yourself the cleanest surface that you can work with, right? And then you're going to use your compressed air, your little shop blower, your vacuum, all of that kind of stuff to try to get rid of everything inside the car that you can get rid of. Like just get all of that stuff out of the inside of the car so that you can have a nice clean surface to work with. Andy is obviously out of the bedroom now. So we're going to have a clean surface to work with, or at least just a car surface to work with, and not all the stuff that you bring in the car with you. So this is where you're going to get your compressed air, your blower, your vacuum, your silly putty, or your actual car putty if you actually buy the real stuff. But the silly putty works just fine, not Play-Doh. And you're going to step 4, disinfect any commonly used surfaces. So your steering wheel, the doors, just disinfect everything that you can disinfect. And again, guys, no bleach, none of that stuff. If you have some really nasty areas that you really need to bleach or use those kind of chemicals on, please remember where you did that to and immediately get on that with something that's going to condition and make that better. You don't want to leave, especially if you're outside in the sun, you don't want to leave those harsh kind of chemicals baking in the sun. It will start baking and hurting the car. So get all those surfaces disinfected. Vacuum your seats and your carpets and your floor mats. And Andy is in the kitchen running water now, and I'm sure that is heck loud. Andy, super loud. Thanks. At least he's not making popcorn. Vacuum the seats and the carpets and your floor mats and get under the seats and in the cracks, and that's where that lizard thing that we were talking about last week comes in handy, so that you can get down in the seats and do all that. And I was going to show you guys those little catch slips that I have that go in between the seats tonight, but we'll show you those on one of our lives this weekend when we take the car out. Wipe down your windows and all your glass, your sunroof if you have a sunroof. Get all that glass wiped down inside and out. If your windows are tinted, your tint, for those of you who don't know this, is on the inside of the window. inside the window, not on the outside. Tint, you do not want to hit when at all possible with Windex and vinegar and all that kind of stuff. You want to get um, a nice foam product that's made for tinted windows. You can go pretty much to an auto store or any place that tints windows and ask them for glass cleaner for tinted windows. Use that glass cleaner on the inside of your tinted windows. And if you can avoid using it on the outside, please do. If you're in a rush and emergency and you don't have your outside window wash, then yeah, it won't hurt the outside of your windows, but it's expensive. So you'll want to have your inside tinted window wash and then just Windex or vinegar and water or whatever for the outside. So I know it's crazy for carrying around two different products, but you will thank me. Your tint will thank you. Your tint will last longer and it won't bubble and get all damaged and yucky from using normal Windex and that kind of crazy stuff. Okay. So if you need to shampoo your floor mats, I'm not talking about your carpet in the car. I'm talking about the removable floor mats. If you need to wash out your floor mats, this is the time to do it. Take them out and hit them with like carpet cleaner, the foamy carpet cleaner stuff. Foam the heck out of them and let them sit somewhere off to the side. We'll get back around to them. And step 11 is going to be to go ahead and hit your leather seats with some leather cleaner and polish. You want to clean your trunk. That is step number 12. If you have any holes, rips, or anything like that in your upholstery, you want to fix those. That's step number 13. Number 14 is to get rid of any stankies that are in there. If you've got some like nasty smells going on in there, you want to get rid of those. Then you want to go ahead and adjust that at the end. That's when you want to take care of the stankies. And then step number 15, I just throw this in there for fun. Step number 15, if you can't get all of this done, rinse and repeat doesn't work, then go find a professional and let them take care of it for you. You should be able to get through this. It might take a couple of times, but you should. I have all the faith in the world in you. I think you can do this. And like I said, it might take a couple of times, but I think you can do this. What's going on? Andy was trying to like photobomber. He was like sticking his nose in here. If you get part way through it or you get all the way through it and you're just frustrated and you can't do it, then just go find somebody, take it to a car wash, ask them if they have somebody that does like the whole 9 yards. And you'll be looking at, for an interior job, probably, I don't know, about $100 or so, depending on how bad your car is. And if you've already ran through these 15 steps, it shouldn't be too horrible. So just run the car in and just ask them to help you out and get it where you need to get it, and then keep it there. So run these steps every week and just keep it there. So here's the thing, doing this regular makes this much less daunting, and give yourself some rules. So if this is your daily driver, just have some rules and stick to them. If your daily driver is also going to be your car show car, then have like backup mats that are not the same as your daily driver mats. So when you do go to a car show, you yank out those daily driver mats and you put in the car show mats that don't get used. So then you're not, so you're not having to worry about the wear and tear on those mats and getting judged down for that. I don't daily drive Onyx anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. But she certainly gets driven to all the shows. So, I mean, my feet are all over something trying to get from New Jersey to Bowling Green, right? Or my feet were all over something getting, or I guess my feet weren't, but Andy's feet were all over something getting her from Kansas to New Jersey, and it's everywhere she's gone. So her normal mats go down instead of her pretty show mats. And I just make sure that the show mats don't get stepped on if I can at all avoid it. They do have to get cleaned every now and then because every now and then somebody will jump in the car at a show and put their feet on them. And it's like, okay, did I tell you you could get in there? But they're going to get in. People are going to get in. Or you're going to get in on a day where you're tired and totally forget they're there. And you're going to put your feet on them. So you have to clean them every now and then. So, all right. So those are the 15 steps. And so let's go back and just kind of talk through some of them. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. So gather your trash and your debris. That is pretty easy going. Just move the seats around, look behind, look under, get the stuff out of the doors. Wherever you hide your trash in your car, your French fries down the center, between the center console and the seats, like grab all of those. Andy likes Fritos. He likes to hide Fritos down the center console and seat. So those get picked out. So just have a bag for that. Just put all that stuff in there. Plus you're going to be using paper towels. You're going to have your auto wipes. You're going to have all this trash that's going to be accumulating during your use. So that's what the trash bag's for. Put all of your trash in that trash bag. Yeah? Okay. So then get your little mini California duster or your micro rag or whatever it is that you use to dust, your compressed air, all that stuff, and start dusting everything off. Start dusting all your surfaces. Now you're going to start finding where you've spilled your coffee or your Coke or any of your energy drinks or any of that kind of stuff that you've had to use to keep yourself going so that you don't wreck your Camaro on your way to Camaro Fest. All of those things you're gonna start finding all those. So get all that stuff off of there. You don't want to wet any of that stuff. So get all the dust and the dirt and all that stuff, the pollen, all that stuff. Get all that stuff off. And again, don't use a California duster on your paint. Please, please, please do not use a California duster on your paint or your wrap or any of your vinyl, and just don't use it on the outside of your car. So if you have one,
how about you just don't buy it?
If you have one, move it into the inside of your car for your interior cleaning purposes, but don't use it on the outside. Okay? Okay. Glad we all agree. Now that you're done dusting, get that silly putty out. Because now you've got like stuff jammed into the little cracks. Like, my cats are being complete Gumbies right now. You've got like those little like those little seams, those cracks that go like around the gear shift. And you've got your air vents and you've got all that crazy stuff that you cannot get into. You can use those makeup brushes that I was telling you about to kind of move things around. Then you get that silly putty out and you jam that, hang on to it though, don't let it fall into the air vents. Jam those into those places, push them in nicely, and then pull it back out and you'll see all that stuff sitting in there. Little rocks, little pieces of potato chips, salt from French fries, whatever it is that you've been bringing in your car is going to be inside of those little cracks. Now it's going to be in that silly putty. Some of those you can actually like maneuver it around underwater and wash them out. And a lot of that stuff will come out of your silly putty and your car putty. Some of them you just have to like know when to retire it and get rid of it and then get some new stuff. It's really cheap. If you're just getting silly putty at the dollar store, it's really not very expensive. So just use it until you can't use it anymore and throw it away and get a new one. And get just a little tiny Tupperware thing that you can keep it in because you don't want it just loose laying around. It dries out. So keep it in a nice little container so that it stays moist, because the dry silly putty will not. What are you doing? If I could turn this around and show you what Andy's doing right now, guys, seriously. Um, keep your silly putty or your car putty nice and moist so that it works well. Otherwise, you're just going to scratch the surface of your car while you're trying to get stuff out. It won't work. Okay, so super cool. Yeah, for sure, David, for sure. So get all that kind of stuff out of the car. Give yourself a nice clean surface to work with. Um, and then disinfect your surfaces. So get all the stickies and all that kind of stuff taken away. And you're good to go. You're ready to start detailing, basically. Now you've got the car clean. To disinfect and get the stickies and all that kind of stuff, I really do like to go ahead and just grab the car wipes. They don't have alcohol in them. They're a non-alcohol based car wipe. And they do clean and pull up all of the stuff out of the surfaces. You also can get an interior car cleaner. Adams makes a wonderful interior car cleaner, but I never really have anything that's super gross in my car. My Jeep maybe sometimes gets pretty nasty, so I love those in my Jeep because we take it off-roading, so it gets muddy and dirty, and it gets gross. It gets gross. So we really like those in the Jeep. I don't use those as much in the Camaro, but we really like them in the Jeep. So use those if that's what works in your situation. Get everything all nice and cleaned off. Get all your sticky stuff. Get any of your dirt, anything that's not supposed to be in there, out. And then get to where you're ready to start detailing and making it pretty. So detailing and protecting is what we're doing. So when you're ready to start detailing and protecting, if you have any deep carpet issues or leather cleaning issues, you want to take care of those before you get to the detailing and protecting. So take care of any of those. Those are issues that we don't typically have in our cars, but if we're going from hardcore daily driver to car show type situations and you do have those to take care of, then this is where you need to take care of that. And since we're not in the car right now, we can actually talk about the cloth. So if you have cloth interior, we do have one car that has cloth. The Synergy has cloth in it. If you have a cloth interior and you have to address any issues with your cloth interior, then you want to address that with, a nice foam cleaner. You don't want to get the interior of your cloth like super wet unless you have the equipment to pull all that water out of your seats, or you're going to have a whole other problem to work with. You will definitely have to skip ahead to number 15 and take it in and have it professionally handled for you because you're going to be dealing with mold and all kinds of other things if you cannot get that interior dry. Because if you get all that water into the foam and stuff that's underneath your upholstery, it's a done deal, bro. You're going to have some crazy smells and stuff going on in there that you don't want to deal with. So if you do have the equipment to do that, like to steam clean out the seats and stuff like that, go for it. If you don't, try the dry foams and see if that gets whatever is on your seat out. If it does not, I'm serious. I'm telling you, don't go getting all crazy with water and stuff in the upholstery. Have a professional take care of that for you. So get where you're happy, get where everything is as clean as you think you can get it, and then start with the protecting and the detailing. So once the cloth seats are taken care of, not a whole lot more to do. For the cloth, if you have leather seats, then this is it, man. This is where we're taking off. So you're going to get your leather conditioner and your leather cleaner and stuff out, and you're going to just start going to town with it. So you're going to get your microfiber towels, and it's go time. You just start putting it in there, and little by little you just take surfaces and just start rubbing that stuff in there. And depending on how dry your seats are will depend on how much product your car is going to soak up. Onyx doesn't take very much anymore. I can tell you that I jumped into the back of Tribute and her back seats after taking a Mr. Clean bar to the white so that we could get the ceramic white, leather white. Took quite a bit of it, took almost a half a bottle of leather conditioner to get her back to where she was a happy car. So lots and lots of leather conditioner, and she will tell you, or he will tell you, when it's done. So when they're done drinking up all of that leather conditioner, you will know. Just keep doing it until it's like slick, and then you'll know. When you get in the car, you should like slide right off the seats, and you'll know you've got enough leather conditioner and stuff on there. It should be really pretty. It should be really shiny. It should feel really nice and soft and supple. So that's what you're going after. It shouldn't be dry. It shouldn't be cracky. You shouldn't be able to see like desert lines in your seats. That's bad. Okay. So get your leather all conditioned, and then you want to do the same thing with all of your rubber and your plastic, your dash, your center consoles, all of that. You want to get all of that stuff done with your VRT. And honestly, guys, if you're using, I know for me, when I'm using my Adams, they all have different smells. Some of the stuff smells like cherry, some of it smells like grape, some of it, they all have different smells. So once you've fed all of this stuff into the interior of the car, your car smells pretty good. So not a whole lot of deodorizing needs to be done once you're done cleaning the inside of the car. My car smells amazing. I don't I mean, I have a cute little Bath and Body Works ladybug thing in the inside of my car that has a stinky thing in it, but I always forget to put things in it. It just was something that I've had since 2010. So it just never leaves the car. I always forget to put the discs in it, but it's in there. And then I think there's another one in there that has bats on it that's also from Bath and Body Works. But again, I never remember to put they're more decorative than they are anything else. So let's talk about the windows. You want to get all the glass clean. You want to clean. And here's something that everybody misses when they're cleaning inside the cars, especially for car shows. And I don't know if Diana's watching, but Diana and I don't miss this when we judge. So if you come to a show that we're judging, you can bet your butt you're going to lose points from us on this. If you have a sunroof, there's a track that sunroof jumps into and slides on. That track needs cleaned. Don't clean the grease out of it. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you leave the grease in it. But clean the plastic part of it and the tray that it sits in. Because if it comes down to you and somebody else, I'm looking in your center console, I'm looking in your glove box, and I'm looking in that tray that your sunroof sits in. And if I find dirt in any of those places in one car and not the other, that could be the determining factor of you winning and them not. It's that easy. Because that's just how I judge. I know that's how a couple of the judges at Camaro Fest that I judge with judge. We will get in your radiator, we will get in your tailpipes, and I mean get in your tailpipes. I will be elbow deep in your tailpipes. Me and your car are going to know each other real good. So Don't just clean the edges of them. We getting all up in it. So clean your car good. um, so when you clean the glass in there, get up there and clean the rest of it too. Clean the inside of the glass on your sunroof. Everybody forgets the sunroof. I don't know why they forget the sunroof. It's up there. You use it, you open it, clean it. I know you don't have to look out of it, but clean it. Good Lord, clean it. Clean the inside of it, clean the outside of it. Clean the back window. Guys, clean the back window. Get those little paint wedges, the little sticks with the paint wedges, the foam paint wedges on them. You guys will see those in my little kit. Get those and put your paper towel on it. They're exactly the right size to get, especially on the 6 gens, to get, I have the hiccups, y'all, sorry, to get right in between the back of the, I don't know, it's not really a dash, but the back where the speakers are and where the window meets. So that's really hard. You can't get your hands in there. Even I can't even get my hands in there, and my hands aren't that big. So if you're a guy with big hands, you sure aren't getting your hands in there. But you can put a towel on there. Baby, who did we chase? We chased a bee around in a car. Remember, we were trying to get a bee out?
Yeah, my car.
It was your car, but it was you and somebody else with big hands trying to get the bee out, because I don't mess with bees. I'm allergic. So, but anyways, if you put a paper towel on that wedge after you've sprayed the window down, you can get in there with that to get it cleaned out. It's got a nice long stick on it, so you just and you can get the window cleaner and stuff off. So all these little tiny tools that are really inexpensive really help get the job done for you. Otherwise, you get really frustrated, and then just wipe the windows down. Otherwise, normal. What are some other tricks? Let's see. The glass that's in your instrument panels. I recommend using the tint, the stuff that I told you to get for the inside of your windows. If your windows are tinted, use that on your instrument panels and your display. What is that called, babe? No, the display screen where you touch everything that has the radio and
Infotainment.
your infotainment screen. Thank you. I don't know why that left me, but because you don't want to do anything really harsh on those screens either. So clean those with something that's gentle as well. And then all the ones that are on the screen behind your steering wheel. So all of those kinds of surfaces, get those and be ready to just kind of hit them lightly again after you're done, because you might touch them again when you're doing the plastics. If you have to touch any other plastics up, I always like to do the glass last, because you are going to get the oily stuff on your glass. So your mats are still sitting outside festering with all of the foam cleaner on them. So you're going to want to go out there and hit those with like a rough brush and just kind of clean them up really good. Hose them off. Maybe rinse and repeat a couple of times on those, because those are going to probably be pretty bad. But just agitate them a little bit, foam them up again, agitate them some more, rinse them off, let them hang out there and dry for a while. Never put those in your car and close your car up while they're wet, or you will have a nasty, stinky, smelly mess. Same with your trunk liners. And if you have any holes, rips, or anything like that in your upholstery, you can get upholstery thread. And you can do some pretty amazing things with upholstery thread that will sew those holes up, or the little leather patch things that you can put on them and fix those up. So you can do those. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if anybody has any questions for cleaning the interior. This was really kind of a a visual type of instruction. This would have been a lot better if you guys could have seen some things and asked questions, and then we could have showed you. But any questions that, is there anything that anybody ever runs across when they're cleaning the car that they're like, how can I get to this? Or what could I use on this? This is a time. Ask away. What's up, FJ? What exterior question do you have? The lag on these questions. It's horrible. I'm sure you typed it like 10 minutes ago and it's still not here. Let's see. I scraped my mirror against side of garage. What can I use? How bad is the scrape? Is it like, okay, black mirrors. Black paint, like flat black paint, shiny black paint. How deep is it? It was plastic. Plastic. Can you, I was going to say, can you send me pictures, email me pictures, and then I'll just email you back and tell you if I think there's something you can do with it? There probably is. We can probably, you might be able to like buff it. Because if it's plastic, you might be able to do a little heat manipulation to it. Send me pictures. I want to see how bad you scratched it. It might be something you can just back to black. If there's no paint involved, you might be able to just back to black and do a little heat, messing around with it with some heat.
It's very true. Back to black.
Easy, David, easy. I think we're dealing with a language barrier as well, so be nice. All right. Any other questions? Again, I figured this would take a lot longer because we were going to be like hands on, and we're not. We're back on the couch. Not really sure what happened there because we've filmed outside, like at car shows and stuff, all the time, and we've never had any problems. I don't understand why that didn't work. The only thing I can think of is it was trying to grab onto too many people's internets.
I turned the Wi-Fi off. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, babe. I don't know what was happening with that. Or maybe it's interference with the garage, but Andy was outside and I was inside, so I don't get it. We don't know what happened. I appreciate it, David. Thank you. Big brother protecting me. Jimmy, feel free to jump in anytime you want. I have absolutely no problem with you jumping in.
Don't be scared to ask questions either.
I got pretty big toes. I can take the weight. What do you got, Jimmy? Bring it. I learn from people who have lots of experience, and I've been doing this since I was 16. So, started on motorcycles, moved on to cars. Um, I'm 54, so that's a lot of years. Things change over the years. All kinds of different techniques come in. I've learned from a lot of different detailers, and I just like to pass the things that I learned, but I like to learn from a lot of different people. So if you know something that's helpful, that's why we get on here. We call it Girl Cave because we want people to jump in here and share their experiences with the girls so that they know how to do things for themselves and take care of their Camaros and their daily drivers. Sometimes it's one and the same. That way they're not getting taken advantage of. Um, I've never really had that experience because I was lucky enough to have a father that made sure that I knew as much as he could possibly teach me or put me in contact with people who could teach me so that when I went somewhere, if I had to, he made sure I made an effort to take care of everything myself first. But if I ever had to take my car somewhere, um, I wasn't being bent over and told crazy things. I would have at least half an idea what was going to happen so that somebody wouldn't charge me hundreds and hundreds of dollars and then send me out the door and say they changed my oil filter when in fact they hadn't, because my pink nail polish was still on the air filter or the oil filter or whatever filter they said they were changing. And I can prove it because my pink nail polish was still sitting on it. So just things like that. And it's just Camaro brothers and sisters taking care of each other so nobody's toes get stepped on. Different ways of doing the same thing. We want to hear from everybody. So, absolutely. We actually have several mechanics and detailers that sign in. And this did start off as just being Girl Cave so that the girls were comfortable talking. Um, but it ended up dragging, the guys ended up jumping in. So we didn't kick them off. It ended up being something that the guys got involved in. And I love that you guys are all here. Um, as long as everybody stays respectful. So um, everybody that knows me and knows Onyx and all of her craziness, she was a car that just went out of control. She was my midlife crisis, and everything that's done to that car, um, I did myself. So from her vertical doors to her reverse tilt hood, all of the craziness that is that car is my blood, sweat, and tears. Um, so I've made some mistakes, some crazy mistakes, um, but she's my mistake, and I love her dearly, and I will never get rid of her. I've had several others in between and gotten rid of them, but she has stayed. So, end of the day, anybody that has anything to add, anybody that has tips that they think would be useful, anybody that's like, woman, you're crazy, you shouldn't do that, you should do this, please jump in. I am happy to hear it because I may change my way. I may like your way better. You can teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. Hey, Spider. You sent a new pic? Did you send it to the Caves email address? Thanks, FJ. Appreciate it. I love to detail. That's one of my favorite things. Thus my incredibly clean Camaro. My Jeep is maybe not as clean. I mean, it's clean, but you can definitely tell that it gets off-roaded. It is definitely scratched and pinstriped. And I did keep it up and try to buff it out, but the paint can only take so much before there's no paint left. So I kind of stopped doing that. Family nights are good. Family nights are good. Andy and I have date nights on Tuesday. That no matter what's going on, that's like our time. So family night is good. When my kids were growing up, we had family night. No electronics. It's a good rule to have. Any other questions, guys, for detailing interiors? We'll do an exterior dealing. We'll do an exterior detailing, hopefully outside, where we can. We're gonna have to figure out what happened tonight. We'll have to do a mock and figure out what happened tonight, so that we can do one of these from outside. Or maybe we'll just do a video and put it out there. But we'll get a lot of opportunities this weekend to try to shoot some lives from the car show. So if there aren't any other questions, then I don't really have anything else that has to do with detailing the inside. Just did a detail on the wife's cat. Cat? Like meow? Like, please tell me you're not talking about the family pet. Okay, Cadillac. Woo! I have 2 cats. I thought they don't like to be detailed. Crazy. Awesome. Well, everybody have a phenomenal holiday weekend. Please remember, let's see, Rock, for cleaning the lower part of the rear window, I use a paint, stirring stick, and cloth to reach the low point. Yes, we were just talking about that, Rock. I wished I had them in here. Similar. So the paint brushes they're not paint brushes, but they're a stick with a sponge on the end, and the end is tapered. I use those. So I use the foam that I use for my tinted windows, and I spray the window, and then when I get to that base part of the window where you can't get anything down in there, I use that paint foam brush, whatever it is, with a paper towel wrapped around the end, and I just stick it down in there, and it gets right down in there because the foam moves. So it's perfect, and it just goes right in there and comes right back out. We'll do a short. I'll do a short the next time I clean my back window. I'll have Andy do a short, and we'll show you what I'm talking about. We did the paint stick thing once, and I broke it. And I got really mad at it, so I stopped using the paint sticks. But I did try that once. But I will do a short on that. Andy, remind me to do a short on cleaning the back window
Okay.
of mostly your car, because I can get into the 5th gen's back window no problem. It's the 6th gens that people have problems with. So, anyways, as I was saying, guys, please be safe this weekend, especially if you're taking your Camaros out. Have fun. And most importantly, remember why we get a long weekend this weekend. If you have members of the military or anybody who has served in the police or fire or EMS or any of those emergency services that have lost their lives protecting ours, thank you. And you have my prayers and my thanks and my thoughts. Please keep everybody whose family members are those, and remember that that is why we have this weekend, is because, you know, some gave all. That's all I'm going to say. So remember them and be safe. Okay? So enjoy your weekends. Don't drink and drive. Wear your seatbelts and keep the faith. Peace out, guys.